Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell. Welcome to Two Women in Crypto, a weekly podcast birthed on a whim by two women who are excited about the cryptocurrency landscape and have a shared passion about empowering others to step into the digital, tokenized world of the future. We offer tips, tricks, and our own individual insights as to how to begin to navigate this shift. We are not financial advisors nor experts. We are just here to encourage you to look at the possibilities. So welcome to the future. You're right on time. Good morning.
Good morning, Kelly.
Cheers. Ho, ho, ho.
Oh.
What's
It's gonna be a crypt.
Same theme. You go first.
I was gonna say, it's looking like we're gonna have a crypto Christmas.
Exactly. And I was going to say, what are you going to have in your stocking this year? Crypto.
Oh my God, it was so sweet. So my parents want to get something for me and Rowan to put under their Christmas tree. And Rowan's like whispering to me, she's like, just tell them to buy us more crypto.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I think we have like 6 months maybe to accumulate some of these projects that haven't shot up yet.
Yeah, I would say that's probably pretty accurate. Pretty close.
So let's talk about some of our favorite projects. You know, I was jumping into Rune this morning when I woke up, and I know that's a token that you hold.
Yep.
I mean, that's up what, 300% this year?
Yeah, huge. Thorchain, it's a huge project, huge coin for sure.
And that's a decentralized exchange, correct?
Yep.
Okay, so it's the third largest now. It's becoming more and more popular. So it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool project you got yourself into.
Yeah, I've been holding on to that one for a while. That came, of course, I also am involved in the Northern Gateway, and it was because of the name and Thorchain and
Right.
Rune and all those things. So yeah, it's definitely one that is in my keeper list. I have quite a few that I will shed as time goes on and things kind of really get pumping. So, but I did not realize, because I'm not in the technicals like you are, that it was number 3 now. That's pretty cool.
Yes. So, and that makes sense that it's gone up hundreds of percent.
Yeah.
Really interesting too, because, obviously I've been doing a deep dive on the cloud, right? So we're looking at decentralized cryptocurrency projects that are going to disrupt Amazon Web Services, Google Cloud, Microsoft Azure. And, I'm looking at Akash and Flux, something that we've been talking about for quite some time now. So I went back into the charts with Akash because Akash went live a month and a half ago.
Right. Yeah.
Akash is up over 700% this year.
Didn't it hit like the $2 mark?
It's $2.20. I'm very happy.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think I remember when we had that really big deep dive conversation on it when you stumbled across it. And I think at that time it was like 70 cents. Is that about right?
Yeah, it was like you were like, wait till it corrects down to 80 cents. So
and I think it came close, but
it did. You were 100% correct with your technical analysis.
Yeah, awesome.
So, thank you, Kelly, because I did get into that project. If you buy Akash on like crypto.com, you can create a wallet called Kepler, and you can stake your Akash and earn 11% compounding interest.
That's awesome. So listen, I'm looking at the chart. I haven't looked at Akash recently. And so just kind of going back, this is the part of trading or just technical analysis that I love, because it's all a harmonic, it's a fractal. And when it was at the 80 cent level, that was because it was going back down to that 236 level, that fib level. And now you're at the top of the golden pocket. So I would imagine it's at the fib 786. So I would imagine you're going to have another retracement here soon. But anybody who's sitting on the outskirts of this project, I am not in it, in full disclosure, but it is a fun chart to look at. It's a fun chart to look at.
And it's a super fun chart. And again, the thing with Akash is like their mission is to create a super cloud, right? So their mission is you're going to own your cloud and be happy. So I like the spin that they do off of the World Economic Forum. It's super cute. And, you know, Flux is going live tomorrow. So, you know, again, also these two projects, I believe, are really going to disrupt centralized cloud services. So I'm super thrilled. I'm excited. And, you know, sometimes I just feel lucky that I get into these projects. Like people are always throwing projects at me to like do research and look into. And my cousin told me about this project Flux, and then I came across Akash. And then, you know, when you start thinking about the disruption that these projects can have, it's like, you know, so.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And Flux looks like it's going to go. So Flux is at 62 cents today. We pre-record this on Thursday. Mainnet's going live tomorrow. Won't be full mainnet, but again, it's mainnet enough where people can start messing around with the application, which is really cool.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Proof of useful work. So while you mine for your Flux, if you don't get chosen for your block rewards, you can actually opt into proof of useful work and rent out your unused GPU storage. So now we have like a double kind of use case going on,
Love it.
which, right. So it's good for the environment.
And who doesn't have a few extra CPUs or laptops hanging around their house, right?
I mean, that's the beauty of the whole thing. So I did look into like running a node, and I also looked into mining. It's not that simple, you know? So running a node is more simple, but again, I'm not hands-on super techie. I always tell people I'm middle management, right? I just kind of like, this is what we're going to do, but I don't know how to do any of it. So,
yeah.
so it's fun. It's fun, but you know, I might do it. I'm still looking into it, but again, I love learning, so it's kind of cool.
Oh, absolutely. And the way the technology is changing, if we're not doing a little bit to kind of keep track, kind of keep up to date with what's happening, you might as well be 6 feet under.
Right. And I still don't think a lot of people understand that we're leaving the industrial era and we're moving into an era of technology.
Yeah, I agree.
Where we're going to be sending value through the internet.
So just a quick side note, just on that thing, the other day I stopped by someplace to grab a bite to eat or wherever I was, and I gave the young lady at the register cash. Oh, poor thing. I mean, God forbid. I think what I was purchasing was $2.19. I gave her $2.25. She stared, and I mean, I really had such compassion for her because she was like, she was looking at it, and I know the computer would have given her the change, but she couldn't do it. And she finally looked at me. She says, "Do you want your change back?" I said, "Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's, you know, it's not worth it." I mean, but she was completely stumped. And I really felt, because it's no fault of hers. It's just what it is, right? And she just was not taught, or didn't, you know, whatever the case may be. Yeah. Anyway, it was really kind of sobering. And it was sobering for me to watch that take place.
Yeah. I mean, the world's changing. I know I have a nephew who, you know, he's 15. He doesn't know how to write cursive. Right. So again, everything is going to be on the computer. We're typing. Why do we need to learn how to write cursive? If we have calculators, right, on our phones, why do we need to learn basic math? These are great skills to have, but here we go. I mean, the world, like I said, the world is changing. You're wearing glasses. Probably next year, you're going to be able to have those glasses where you press a button and this whole virtual reality world is going to pop up in front of you. You can be whoever you want, Kelly.
Right.
I want you to be Kelly, though, because you are awesome.
I like Kelly. Kelly's really cool, as is Andrea.
Kelly's
right?
so cool.
I think it's really cool. Oh, golly. Okay, so what other projects?
All right, well, let's talk about one of my favorites. I'm wearing my Cardano shirt, the evolution of money. There's the Cardano symbol right there.
Yeah.
So we had seashells, salt, coins, dollars, plastic cards, and now everything is digital.
Absolutely. And there's a big project getting ready to launch on the Cardano network.
Yes, there's a lot of things going on in the Cardano network. And again, it's interesting because we're just coming out of the bear market. We've been flat for what, like 2 years now, right? It's been brutal.
And
It's
painful,
been a
yes.
brutal bear market. But we have Cardano is trading at 29.30 for like 2 years. And this is such a good learning opportunity for all of us. All of a sudden, boom, Cardano pops over 60 cents,
Yep,
right?
exactly.
And when I think about Cardano in the last cycle, they just released like simple smart contracts. It wasn't very good. There was a lot of issues, on the blockchain, when you were like working within the Cardano ecosystem. But fast forward from 20 to going into 2024, now we have applications like Hydra, scaling solutions that with this network effect that's starting to happen, Cardano is going to be able to do like 1 million transactions per second.
It's
So
crazy.
watch out, Visa, MasterCard, because Cardano's on their way, right? I mean, this is just so super cool. So super cool. The amount of development that's going on in this ecosystem, right? With the new privacy, we got midnight coming. I'm hoping that we'll get an airdrop for dust tokens. So stay tuned. We'll keep everybody, up to date with that.
Awesome.
And a lot of people are starting to use that min swap DEX.
Mhm.
That if you're part of Two Women in Crypto, we actually taught a class how to like participate in this decentralized exchange, how to swap Cardano for MELD tokens or Singularity Net. There's like this whole ecosystem and it's doing very, very well. So
Yep, Meld is on the top of my list for sure.
MELD is on the top of my list as well. So I always find it fun, right? Like I'm a pretty conservative person. I love my Bitcoin, my Ethereum, my chain link. Like to me, those are like safe projects if there are any, right? To invest our money. But something like MELD can disrupt our current banking system.
Yeah. Yeah. And don't we know that next year is going to be a year of massive disruption?
Right. So MELD's going live in January. And I got to tell you, I've literally been calling all of the folks from Two Women in Crypto, and I'm like, I'm coming over and we're going to get you MELD. So I never know for sure, just like, we don't know. But, we're talking about a decentralized banking platform where we can hold our coins in a non-custodial wallet, have an actual physical debit card that we can load with our crypto or fiat and go to the store and purchase things.
Yep.
No KYC. This will not be passed in the United States of America, but other emerging countries, no problem, right? So we're getting in on this project. I am so super excited. We know regulations are coming in the beginning of 2024. And, hopefully we'll be able to participate in this project. And even if we can't, we still can, but we won't have that on and off ramp for fiat.
Right.
That's all.
Yep.
And that's fine with me because staking for MELD should be coming by the end of this month. Okay. So we can do liquid staking where we don't lock up our tokens, or we can lock up our tokens for a certain period of time. And then we actually will earn more yield, right?
Yep. That's awesome.
Sorry, my mom calls. She calls every week during my podcast.
Oh, good for
I
mom.
know. So anyway, I am super stoked about MELD. It's like a penny and a half. I think the all-time high for meld was 16 cents. And again, I think like we're looking at this project is in over 140 different countries on multiple blockchains. It's not just Cardano, right? It's Avalanche, Ethereum, Binance Smart Chain, Polygon. I think there's Tron, there's a couple more. And for me, it's like to have access to this kind of banking system on multiple blockchains in so many different countries. I can borrow against my crypto. I can loan my crypto out. I can stake my crypto. This is so freaking cool.
Yeah, it's going to be great. It's going to be great. Once that hits that is it 6 cents, I think, or what is that, 1 cent now? It'll be out of a channel it's really been in for a long, long, long time. So awesome.
Yep. And when coins are in these channels for a long, long time, sometimes we see a very strong pop.
Oh, absolutely. And it typically retraces just like, a Kosh when, suggesting that you wait. So just know that if you see a project that's really done a pump, typically there's an opportunity to come in for a retracement. So you haven't missed out. But let's talk about that real quick. I think we might have already tapped on it. We don't have a huge amount of time left really for people to get on the train.
Right. So I've been looking at the charts and like for me, like, I'm not a big Ethereum fan. I hold Ethereum. I'm not a big Solana fan. So I don't hold Solana because there's so many, right? There's so many, but you can't hold all the tokens, even though I know Solana is kind of leading the pack, getting us out of this bear cycle. I think Solana is like $70. It went up a lot. That would be something that I would wait for a correction before I invest in. Same with the Kosh. But at the same time, we have these ISO 20022 tokens, XRP, XLM, XCC. ISO 20022 is live.
Yep.
But they're not using the cryptocurrency tokens yet.
Right.
The enhancement phase is we are not there yet, but it is coming in 2024.
Exactly. Exactly. And those are the disruptors. Those are part of the disruptors for next year.
Right. So when I'm looking at Stellar going sideways at 12, 13 cents for all of this time, to me, that's a great project to dollar cost average in. Same
Sure.
with XDC, right? Now, XRP's gone up a lot. Like it was like in that 40 cent, we're up in 63 cents, but we know we're just getting started with these projects. So rather buy XRP at 63 cents than, $1.20 in January.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. It's still a good time for sure. Yep.
Yep. So I'm loving this. And then, I know we talked last week about Mataco partnering with IBM. So Ripple bought Mataco. It's a digital asset custodial company, right? They bought it for $250 million during the bear market because, you could pick up some deals. And right, that's a good deal.
Not bad. Pocket change.
But this company Mataco, I mean, they're a big player. They're partnered with Citi, now they're partnered with IBM, they're partnered with a lot of different, banking institutions. And when I think about JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs, when they want to get into, let's just say Bitcoin, they're not going to hold it. They need a third party custodial company to custody their cryptocurrency. Ripple.
Yep. Cheers.
Cheers,
Need your
Ripple.
XRP mug.
I wonder how big Ripple's actually going to be. This is pretty exciting.
It is. The whole landscape is.
Definitely, and then I think about, okay, so XRP is going to be used for cross-border payments, on-demand liquidity, like really removing that friction in our current financial system. And then we have Stellar, whose mission is to bank the unbanked. Okay, so we have like over 2 billion people that aren't banked. But most of these people have cell phones. So you can download that Lobster wallet that's connected to MoneyGram. If you decide, Andrew, I'm going to Ireland, and then you're like, hey, send me some money. I can send you Stellar or any crypto through your Lobster wallet. You can go into any convenience store, you know, a CVS, something like that, and actually get money in your hand, convert that Stellar to fiat. So Stellar is going to be providing us with fiat on and off ramps. This is huge.
It's huge,
Of
huge.
Yeah, huge, huge.
Yeah.
And MoneyGram is developing a non-custodial wallet on top of the Stellar blockchain. Very cool.
Which makes perfect sense. Yeah.
Totally. So self-custodying your crypto, you know, through the MoneyGram non-custodial wallet. I mean, a lot of people are going to be using this because a lot of people, you know, you go with what's familiar to you. And for us in the United States, we just don't understand how much cross-border payments actually occur within a year.
Right.
Right.
And that's just going to
So
increase, you know, huge amount, huge amount. I mean, yeah, you can't even, it's really unfathomable. It really is. Yeah.
right. And we talk a lot about that, right? Exponential growth. It is unfathomable. We can't like wrap our human minds around exponential growth, but like all of these transactions that are going to be coming, we have a new banking system coming. It's called neobanks, right? So if I'm on Coinbase, that could be considered a neobank. I mean, you literally can get your paycheck deposited into Coinbase and have yourself a debit card.
Yep.
Right. And it's an app on your phone. It's not like a physical structure where you go and sit with, you know, with a banker at the banks. Banking institutions are closing branches all over the world because we don't need them anymore.
Right, exactly. And with Coinbase's debit card, you can actually put a coin to your card to receive rewards for. You can't do that in the bank. You're going to get, I mean, for quite a bit of time before I moved everything over to wallets, I was using my Coinbase card and getting what XLM as an appreciative token of my work with them. So anyway, there's so many things that you're able to do through a neo bank type situation that you can't do with the regular banking system.
Absolutely. So once we get this signed legislation, I think companies like, I think one of the biggest ones is Revolut is one.
Yep.
I mean, I looked into it, but again, a lot of this is not accessible to United States citizens. And again, we just have to wait for legislation. They can't, you know, they're going to try to control whatever they can, you know, and keep it, you know, in-house for them. But, you know, we'll wait and see what happens. But I still think 2024, we are going to see some major growth, major opportunities. And that's why we dollar cost average into our favorite projects like XRP, XLM, XDC. The MiCA or MiCA is the regulatory framework for Europe. That's going into effect in 2024. So I'm really looking for XDC to take off digitizing the trade documents.
Yep. Good point.
Right? Because that was a part of the bill. So I'm very excited. I mean, you know, we're gonna see where this takes us, but it's hard. Like I'm getting to the point, Kel, I'm not gonna lie. I wake up in the morning and the first thing I do is check the prices.
Yep. I get it. It's always nice to see that green, but it's always refreshing too to see that wash of red because that indicates a healthy market. Green straight up is not a healthy market. It's great, it's fun, it's a high, but it's not healthy. We have to be able to ride the roller coaster. So I'm curious because one of the things that excites me about this new bull energy that's coming in is the altcoins, right? So a lot of the projects we're talking about are of course altcoins, but you know, this is the time where you can really find these coins that are like 0.000006 and put $100 into it and just ride it for a bit, which can be risky. Of course, this is not financial advice by any stretch of the imagination. But, you know, I'm really been doing my own little research on some of these gaming projects because a lot of these gaming projects have that 0.000, you know, like Bonk Bonk
Bong
is
took off. I
actually,
still haven't even looked at it.
yeah, I've been watching Bonk. Um, there's one called Jam, and then Pepe is supposed to be, and I know there's a lot of people already in Pepe, and it's already done one of its first um big runs, as we all know, but I don't know, there's some interest that I have there as well, just because even if it's just crazy how fast those little projects can move, like Shib or Doge or,
Right.
from the last bull run, they were huge, huge
Huge.
runners.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm sure they're gonna do really well, this time around too. So are you looking at any specific gaming project or all three of those and the
I'm
meme
looking, well,
coins?
Jam is something about, it's about social media. So that's what intrigued me. It's a new way of interacting in that respect. I am very interested in the gaming world because that's where everybody, I mean, I have no interest in existing in that plane, but a majority of the younger population and even older folks, God, I sound like an antique. Um, it's not going to go away. It's not going to go away. And Bonk is on the Solana blockchain, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, and Solana is just such a winner. And it's like kind of like, so if I was going to do some research, like why not go on the Solana blockchain, go into their ecosystem and look at the projects that are about to be released, right? It's the same thing with the Cardano blockchain. They have a project called Sneck. And
Mm,
I don't know if it's a meme coin. I'm not sure what it is, but that's taking off as well. Like my background is always right, like is in finance, right? I mean,
sure.
when I was a tech recruiter for all those years, I mean, it was, all Fortune 500 companies. So I don't, I find gaming fun. I think it's interesting, but I like to invest in projects where what I know, right?
Of course. Yeah,
And that's
absolutely.
just, yeah, that's just what I do. And again, I hold some SHIB, right? Just because my friend wanted me to and everyone was getting into it. And it's a talking point, but I look at it like going to the racetrack, right? And I
Yeah,
know it's becoming something. I'm interested to see how some of these projects can evolve. And I know the metaverse is going to be so big. XRP Ledger has Futureverse, right? And there's this whole ecosystem going on, that's completely separate from Ripple, the company,
yeah,
right? So much is being built on the XRP ledger, and that's something that I'm looking at. And the XRP ledger doesn't have smart contracts. So, but the Flare project, right? Back in 2020, I moved my coins from my hardware wallet to Coinbase, got this because I didn't know better, got the snapshot, and then I got free Flare tokens. And I'm doing research on Flare and Songbird, and Flare is bringing smart contracts to
mm,
XRP,
mm.
Doge, and Bitcoin.
Oh, interesting. Wow.
So that's like another kind of
Yeah.
moonshot. And again, like, and Songbird is like the testing platform. So it's kind of like that canary in the coal mine. You have to go through Songbird before you get put up on the Flare network, right? It's the testing. You got to test all the different applications. It's similar, like Kusama is the
Mm,
same thing for Polkadot. All the applications have to be tested on Kusama, then they go live on Polkadot. Songbird is the same to Flare Network, not even a penny. Flare, I think, is a penny and a half. And, like I said, like sometimes like I'll participate just for the airdrops of these
sure.
tokens. And then we just kind of like dive in and do more research. But I'm staking my tokens. You know, I have to like be active once a month and claim my airdrop, and I get free tokens every single month. Bring it on, mama. I love this passive income, you
Oh
know?
my gosh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yep.
So that's kind of like another fun ecosystem I've been looking into. So it's cool.
Awesome. And I think that's the beauty of it, is because there's so many places that if there's an interesting thought you have, or you know, a part of the landscape that's changing, you know, you can find projects in that, in your wheelhouse, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, it's everything. It's truly everything. So, yeah.
And it's hard to understand,
Oh,
right?
absolutely.
So it's like, okay, we built the internet and now we're modernizing our current internet. It's all it is. We're just like, we're putting another layer, as they'll call the blockchain, right? Where, you know, every account, every transaction, it's all transparent on this blockchain, a ledger of sorts, right? An accounting tool,
Yeah.
right? Every transaction is recorded on the blockchain, but you have an address. It's not your identity, right? So it's pseudo anonymous. Your transaction is transparent for everybody to see, but unless you're like really tracking us, you don't know who's making what transaction. And that's what makes the blockchain so cool, right? And peer-to-peer transactions without a third-party intermediary, which we could never have done before. And I
Right.
don't think people understand. Like, they're like, well, we have Venmo, Andrea. What's the difference?
Yeah, of course. It's something that's really difficult initially to wrap your mind around because we're so used to just staying in that line.
Right. And it's kind of like we in 20 and like now we don't have to ask permission to use our money. And I don't think people truly understand that either. It's like, just a good example. I ran to the grocery store this morning and I have been dollar cost averaging into XTC, XLM, you know, because I mean, we know what's coming, right? So we're
Right.
dollar cost averaging. So I go to the grocery store and my debit card is shut off.
Okay.
So it was like fraud alert. Did you attempt to make these purchases? On one hand, I appreciate that. I do appreciate the fraud alert, but the fact that they were calling me out on, hey, is this fraud?
Yeah.
Well, you know where I am. You know I'm purchasing these things at the local grocery store. How is that fraud?
Right.
You know, like very interesting. But that's the difference, right? There's no permission needed in the new system for transactions.
Yes, 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 absolutely. You don't have to call your bank and say, well, what was the purchase for? It's none of your business. I need $500 available to me, you know, period. None of your business. Thank you very
Right.
much.
And have we been so conditioned
Yeah.
that it's normal to need permission
Yeah.
to use our own money that we work so hard for?
Right.
Very
Absolutely.
strange to me. It's freaking strange, Keller.
Well, and that's why we're a proponent of stepping out of line and asking questions. Period.
Totally. And again, I see two parallel systems, you know, and
Oh, for
I've
sure.
had I've had many conversations and people literally have told me people rely on the government. They need the government to survive. That's fine. You go on a central bank digital currency, but someone like you and we should have the opportunity to manage our own finances in decentralized world, right?
Right. Yep.
Because we're decentralized girls.
That's right. Absolutely. Speaking of which, you should check out all the songs from the Hodlers.
That's right. Check out all our songs to the hodlers. We have this great song. It's called Winner of 17. So it's kind of like buying at the peak of the market and then learning as much as you can during the bear market while you're dollar cost averaging, because you know Bitcoin halving is coming and we go back into a bull cycle. And it's a fun song. You
They're
know, the
all
hodlers
fun
did they're all fun. They're all great. I love
and
it so
educational.
much.
Yeah, and super educational. So definitely check them out. So we have a Q&A this weekend.
Yes, yes, 11 a.m. Eastern time this Saturday. Come join us. Bring your questions.
And your friends. It's only $10, folks. It'll
Yeah,
be a
come on.
mind-bending experience.
It's such a cool experience. And then you get to meet Computer Diva, one of our sponsors. She's awesome. So
Yeah,
she's like, she just takes care of all of our computers. She's done such an awesome job.
she's
Big shout
amazing.
out yeah, do we have her information? We'll
Yep.
put it in the link.
It'll be in there, but it's computerdiva.biz. Mary Berger, she's just a genius for technology and she's working on new things too. So we all are, right?
Yeah.
It's just really, really cool.
Yeah, we're really going to be upping our game for privacy, decentralization, censorship resistant. Like Mary's working on a whole new system. I am so excited to see what she comes up with. But yeah, feel free to reach out to her, tell her Two Women in Crypto sent you, you know. And then the other thing is too, it's like, I'm thinking about real estate, right? Real estate's starting to go down a little.
Well, real estate's going to go down, but there's always this needs, and I know where we're going to go with this, but part of the services of the banking system used to be those notary services. But Jeannie with Markley Mobile, by the way, Jeannie, if you're listening to this, and I know you will be, I will be reaching out. I am in need of a notary by the end of the year. So yeah.
Awesome.
And I can do that because she's in Florida. And it doesn't matter where I'm at and where she's at and I can show up in my jams. So it's all good.
That's right. And she would love to have a jam party with you because she likes her jammies too. And that's the thing, you can get a notary anywhere in the United States. Yep. And just do it, right over Zoom or the phone or whatever you need. It's real. What a great service, right? So that's so super cool. And I think that's all I have. Do you have anything else any other projects you wanted to touch base? There's so many projects. We'll be talking about more next week, I'm sure. Yeah. But the market's pumping pretty much. If you're in crypto, you're doing well right now, especially if you were in the bear market. Every single project has gone up, for the most part, I would say.
Yeah, I would say so too. And if you've been holding on this some time hodling, just hang in there. Your patience will be paying off. So
that's right. Like we keep saying, you buy in the bear market, you dollar cost average, and then, as money starts to flow back into the cryptocurrency market, everyone's going to be flooding in. And then that's when we start to look at dollar cost averaging out.
Yep.
So we'll be teaching a class on exit strategies sometime in January. But I want everybody to start thinking about, why do you hold crypto? Obviously, it's a hedge against our devalued dollar. But let's just say you're investing money, your portfolio goes up so much, it's always a good idea to take some money off of the table. But what would you do with that money? Would you pay off debt? Would you pay off your car? Would you pay off your house? Would you buy some land? Would you, gift it? Like, what would you do with this money? So just start thinking about what's your why.
Yeah, absolutely. And put those whys out there in the ethers, because it's amazing what can be woven on your behalf.
I love it. Well, all right.
Well, until next time, or at least until the weekend, what do we do?
HODL on, everybody.
Your hosts for Two Women in Crypto are Andrea Caldero and Kelly Lair. You'll find more information and details regarding the Two Women in Crypto membership, educational and informative class and event offerings, and more via their website, twowomenInCrypto.com. Both Andrea and Kelly are available for speaking events and offer private consultations focused on helping individuals navigate the future. Until next time, HODL on.